Hey, it's The Building Downtown. You can follow us on social media at The Building DT. You can follow and subscribe to the show on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm your host, Jason Kelly. You can follow me at JKellyMMA. You can follow my co-host, Kirill Kasatskiy, at Kirill Raps, KRILRAPS, and my other co-host, Amy Barton, at Ames Bell. So tonight's guest, you might be familiar with him from battle rap or being around battle rappers or even his battle rap days back in grind time, which we're going to get to. You're probably more familiar with him from being behind the producer boards. That's how I know him. You might know him from a little bit of rapping. As I found it recently, he tears shit up when he does an acapella. That was crazy. So we talk about that. Super producer extraordinaire, Chase Moore. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you. That was a hell of an intro. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm just chilling in the studio right now. Just posted up, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for the time. That's no surprise you're in the studio. We're going to get to some studio talk, but January 16th, 2021 is, what is it? What is it even? Fat Tuesday, Shrove Tuesday, the end of Mardi
Taco
Gras.
Tuesday.
That's because Amy has been, she hasn't had carbs since January 1st, and she indulged today. I woke up and ate 6 pancakes before work today. Everyone's partaking
there you go.
somewhere or the other. What about you? Do you celebrate to get on the pancakes? Do you celebrate Mardi Gras?
I have in the past before. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with pancakes too, though. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of down for all of it, you know?
I mean, what the fuck, Chase? No Mardi Gras pancakes in your house?
Yeah, I mean, maybe like in the past, maybe I'd be down for that. But right now, I don't know.
Look, I'm a New Orleans connoisseur, and I didn't even know that was a thing until about 12 seconds ago. So you're good. You're good.
So what? Did they just put alcohol in the fucking in the batter and shit?
In the everything. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yo, when I was a kid, I remember my mom used to make pancakes for Pancake Tuesday, and she used to put coins in it. Like quarters and fucking loonies. I guess for the American listeners, you don't know those are dollar coins in Canada. Yeah, no shit. And like she'd wash it first, but still, when I got older, even talking to her when I was older, right? I was like, Mom, you think that was a good idea? She's like, yeah, probably not. The choking hazard, the bacteria, all kinds of problems. I know. I don't think she liked me very much.
Yo, for a second, I thought you meant like chocolate coins. You know how they're like candies, like a chocolate.
No, I'm talking nickels and dimes and quarters.
Do you have teeth or?
I'm doing good. I'm all right.
Fuck, all right. So this
I think it worked out for the better. I think it worked out for the better. I think it turned. You think you turned out all right.
I got one more tooth of DNA. Let's say that.
That's hilarious.
So let's talk about the man of the hour, Chase Moore. Fuck, I don't even know where to begin with you because you're on so many different avenues. Let's talk. Let's just talk music in general. What were some of your inspirations? What made you get into the actual art of making music and not just being a fan of it?
Right. Well, it comes initially from my family because I'm like from a musical family. Like my dad was like teaching piano out of our house growing up, and fucking he had like a little music set up, and his business now is like it's all revolved around music. It's like there's a piano teaching method he like created. So like basically I grew up around it, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, like my parents listened to all types of music. So like I was not only growing up listening, and you know, even before I started making music, I always loved music. As a kid, would memorize song lyrics, would read all the fucking inserts and memorize credits, and just like I think that's where it comes from. It's like not only like being exposed to hella different kinds of music as a kid, but then also, you know what I'm saying? Like my pops had a little studio set up and he was teaching piano out of the house. So I think I just absorbed it. And like, you know, like when I really, really, really got into rap, like I always liked rap as a kid, but like I grew up in Australia. I moved to America like when I was like 8, about to turn 9. So like I liked rap in Australia, but like it wasn't the same type of shit. It was like more like more like just super big popular songs as opposed to hearing everything. It'd be like Salt and Pepper, or it would be you know, big songs like that. Like I liked them as a kid, little ass kid, or like there was like a Simpsons tape that there was like a Bart rap on it, and I had that memorized. You know what I'm saying? So shit like that. And then once like I was maybe like 11 or 12 where I started to just really get into rap. And then that triggered like me wanting to create it and make it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like obsessed with the beats and the sound of it and like knowing the lyrics. And because I also used to act when I was little. And so like I fucking could memorize lyrics really quick. So like fucking I would just memorize the lyrics hella crazy. And then, you know, eventually I was like, oh shit, I think I could do that. And then I would just kind of figure out melodies of like a Dr. Dre beat on the piano or something. And then that sparked the curiosity, like, oh shit, like I kind of understand what these beats are and what they sound like. And then my dad had like a old keyboard and I just started that you could make beats on. And then I just started fucking around with it. And I just started messing around with the keyboard, and that's really what was like the catalyst of it all. Was just, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, there's a little keyboard here. I think I can make a beat on here, and then you know, it just that's where the seed was planted. You know.
Please tell me your dad was like a record everything kind of guy, because I need to see an 8-year-old chase Australian Dr. Dre piano beat.
That's hilarious. Nah, he's not that type of dude. But he actually though. He sent me, not that long ago, he sent me some footage. I guess I had done like a project probably when I was a junior or senior, and fucking I was like making a beat, and there was like it was like a super old school project, I guess, that he didn't have. I probably used his computer to make it. So that I'm probably like 16 in it though, you know what I mean? Like making a beat, talking about making a beat and shit like that.
So it's safe to say you play piano, right? But is there any other?
Yeah.
Is there any other instruments, or how much of that goes into your producing? Like, do you play your own instruments, or do you sample, or how do you? Obviously, you don't sample, but you know, you understand what I'm saying?
Sample,
how much of it?
Absolutely sample. I mean,
it's not what I meant. Sorry, let me rephrase that. How much of the instruments do you actually play, and how much of it do you sample? There we go.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So I can play piano. Like I'm not like super, super good, but I have a really good ear though. I don't really know music theory like that, even though I totally should. Cause like my dad and my brother know it, but like I play by ear. So like if I hear something, I can figure it out. But I would say that to directly answer the question, it's about 50-50 because I consider myself a sample-based producer, but because I started beats on an MPC and I have that fucking mentality when I'm making, you know, I use software now, but I love chopping shit up and flipping it. But like I also, you know, play bass lines over it, play keys. So I play all the drums and shit. So I would say like 50-50. I'm like half sampling, half playing, you know?
Do you have a better understanding?
But I'm also...
Go ahead, sorry.
Leah, let me just add my bad.
No, it's all good.
I just want to add one thing too, because even lately, like even though like I always flip samples and shit, but like my mentality kind of changed recently with it. Like I like only flipping for the most part original samples, because like a thing that's happened in music now is a lot of producers will make sample packs, or people will just make loops that are like meant to be sampled and flipped, and I recently have just been using tons of those because I'd rather sample that because it's an original thing. It's coming from another producer. You're not sampling another artist's work, and it's really collaborative. And like I've got friends who make them and they send me shit, but then I also buy them too, or I subscribe to like shit like Splice and Arcade, because it's like I would just rather flip an original sample, but I still take that, you know, I still flip them the same way as if I was chopping up something on my MPC. You know what I mean?
I was just about to ask about the copyrights, but you said you're buying them, so I guess that's covered.
It's like it'll be like they'll have like an agreement in it. It'll be like just as royalty free if you're putting it out independently, or like up to a certain amount. But if it gets placed, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly the thing. The same thing happens to beats, because you can lease it and release it on a non-commercial project, and it's $100 or whatever. And then if you want to release it, then you have exclusive rights. It's $1,000. That's like, I've seen beats being flipped like that, so I understand.
Yeah. Yep.
How do you get to the point where you're actually able to sell beats and make a living off it? Just so you know where this question's coming from, Lush was on week before last, and he let it out there that your price is $1,000 per beat. That's like a base price. If it's a label, it gets a little higher. Sometimes if it's a friend, you work things out. But how do you get to a point where, you know what I mean, you're actually can sell beats, not just hoping for the best, throwing it out there, asking an outrageous price, you know it's not worth it? Like, what does it take to get to to the point where you could say, I want money for my beats?
I mean, I think it's like, for one, it takes a lot of dedication and time into it too, because most people aren't just amazing and just blow up off rip. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like, you have to have consistency and shit. And then like, I think it's being around certain situations or like being in the right environment for it, because I worked in a studio for like, that's where I trained at, like right out of high school up until probably like, I don't know, I worked there for 10 years. So like, and I was honing my craft, but at the same time I'm engineering, doing all these sessions, and then I, you know, at the end I get a chance to maybe play my beats and shop them and shit. So it's like you have to have a lot of networking, and then now that's changed a little bit because all the networking is damn near online. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in-person / online marketing, because you have to like, you know, like a lot of my shit is through word of mouth and shit too, and that comes from just being consistent. So I think that it's like you have to have some sort of a track record out there, you know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, people are reaching out to me. I used to do the shit where I would send out mass emails, but fortunately, I'm at a point where it's a lot of word of mouth and the engine just kind of moves. But to get there, it took, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You gotta give beats out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to like, yeah, I'll take $50 for this. I'll take $100 for anything. Producer is going to be excited no matter what. Just show, like getting any, like especially when you're starting out, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just be like, yeah, I need 5 racks for a beat. It's like, nah, dude, like you're going to have to give some music out. You're going to have to, you know, link up with your homies and make shit and put it out yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you build that sort of fucking foundation. So I think it takes like a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Years putting into it. I think it takes a lot of networking, and I think it takes a lot of flexibility to get that, because when you're not like a huge, you know, if you're not like signed to a publishing deal or you're doing it all independently, shit fluctuates. Like prices are going to be different. Like business is going to be up and down. Like you have to be prepared for that too. You have to be very flexible. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes a lot to get there, honestly, to really answer this shit. Like you have to have dedicated yourself to it, I think, in order to get that in return. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How long have you been working on music? Like actually taking it, you know, at least somewhat seriously? Like 15 years or more?
Yeah, probably. Like, but even in high school, like I put out a CD in high school and I used to fucking sell them at lunchtime, and like I recorded that at my homie's studio and shit. So like really like since high school, but like I like once high school ended, I graduated in 03. So like 03, 04 is when I really just like really like took it really serious. And I was very fortunate though, because like I got an internship at a studio. I was gonna go to college for this shit, but I got an internship, and that turned into me working there for 10 years and being able to like have a mentor. And it's still like to this day, like, you know, one of the premier studios in Sacramento. So like I don't know if I would be where I'm like, I don't know if I would be where I'm at if I hadn't got that opportunity, because I learned everything there. You know what I'm saying?
And it was an internship for sound engineering?
Yeah, for engineering. Because that's another thing too. Like I always realized that you have to have multiple hustles in music. Like I realized quick that it's like, if you want to be an artist, you can't just sit there and only rely on that and just think that you're just going to make these amazing songs and it's all going to come to you. So like I kind of was always down to like produce, engineer, and mix and be an artist. You know what I'm saying? So
the reason I'm asking that is because right out of high school too, I was looking into sound engineering, and Buddy told me straight up, he's like, I'll give you a job for the minimum wage out there, and he's like, get ready to start for 10 years. And that's exactly what you're saying.
Dude. And it's like,
he was telling me, he's like, you're not going to make no real money for about 10 years until you're really good.
Yeah, man, that's pretty fucking accurate, to be honest. That guy knew what he was talking about. He knew what he was talking about.
He's like, I don't want to scare you away. He's like, you seem very passionate and shit, but he's like, get ready for that. And I was just like, I don't know, I need money, man. So
yeah, and I kind of just always knew, like, early on, and a lot of people don't discover this either, but like, I kind of just knew early on, like, this is what I'm gonna do forever. Like, and I kind of just looked at it like, there's no other option. Like, I'm not really a plan B type person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not. So like this, I just knew off rip, like I knew how much you had to put into it, and I was willing to do it. And that never stops though. Like that's still going on, like tenfold.
Where were you wanting to go to college? Had that internship not fallen in your lap?
I was gonna go to Berklee School of Music in Boston. That's where I was gonna go. It's a really good school because I was thinking about like there's like Full Sail in Florida, and there's also like the trade version of it, like LA Recording School and shit. But those are kind of bullshit though. Like it's like where you pay like 25 racks or 40 G's, and it's like a 9-month course, and that's it. Like that's that's bullshit.
Try us.
But yeah, Berklee.
I got news for you, Chase. I used to work at Full Sail, and you will definitely pay more than that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was basing the number off of what LA Recording School was at the time. I think Full Sail is a little better than Lars is anyway, though. But
no, it's a waste of money. Is the point?
Yeah.
What people don't understand and what you're trying to say, which I think is very interesting for people trying to get into this, which we would love to hear you speak on more for the people listening who are still trying to figure out how to get in, is literally what you're saying. Like it's kind of like cooking in a kitchen or anything like that. Is you just have to do the work. I mean, the people that get paid more when they get put on projects are the people who have done the work, not the people coming out of school going, but I went to a school that I paid a lot of money at.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I was like, oh, he's probably like, I should have gone to school because everybody says that. But honestly, if you learn that much on the ground, you shouldn't have gone to school.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like with music and engineering, it's like hands-on experience is going to be your best teacher. Plus, like, you know, I was fortunate enough to have a mentor and someone who actually taught me and someone who is a big engineer to this day. And like, you know what I'm saying? So that a lot of it, I just feel like I was very fortunate to be put in those situations. But it's like, it wasn't just like, it didn't just fall on my lap. You know what I'm saying? You got to grind for those situations. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel fortunate that I was able to learn from like such a direct source rather than like, fuck, how am I going to figure this out? You know?
Lush. Why the fuck? Chase. Sorry, man.
That's all good.
Fuck, that came out like that. You mentioned big time engineer, big time studio. You say they're still around today. Is it anything that anyone would know that's out there? Are they names that people would know?
Yeah, I mean, it's tons of shit, really. Like you know, I mean, tons of big rappers record there. You know what I'm saying? I did a session for T.I. there. Fucking,
whoa.
You know what I'm saying? But like more recently, like that song that's on Black Panther, Mozzie, Sleepwalking, like that. My engineer, my mentor, he recorded, mixed, mastered that shit. Like a lot of Northern California shit. Like every rapper that you could think of from E42 Short Down has been through that studio. You know, but then like, you know what I'm saying, like Dave East, motherfucking, you know, a lot of just rap shit. You feel me? It's a thriving studio. You know, it's really had thousands of artists in there. You know what I'm saying, from all walks of life. But it's a rap centric studio though. Like for the most part.
How much is an hour at a studio like that?
It's usually between $50 to like $100 an hour. Was what you're gonna find.
Really,
a studio like that. Like
I was thinking,
maybe more.
I only hit studios that worth like $1,000 a minute.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, what really happens though in most of these big studios is they rent them out for the day, so it's like a day rate. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be like, yeah, like maybe like $1,000 or something like that, or you know, $1,500, and you can block it out for hella. That's how in my experience, most of the big studios do it. But I would say average is like 100 an hour. You know what I'm saying? 50 to 100. It's probably like, you know, I'd say that's the average.
Before you committed to making hip hop beats, was there anything else you tinkered around with?
I mean, I don't a little bit, not really like as far as what I would make, but I listened to
us now, Chase. Come on.
No, I played bass in a band like fucking when I was like in 8th grade and shit. Like we did like a concert at lunchtime and shit. Like they let us set up like in the quad and shit.
Oh, it's like a rock band, or you guys like?
Yeah, it was rock. Yeah, it was rock. It was very like it was very sort of like
Hootie and the
Blowfish? No, like Incubus, Deftones, like more like Deftones, Incubus type shit, like that sort of vibe.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it was always rap though that I wanted to make. So I fucked around a little bit with other shit, but it was always rap though for me.
Did you have a knack for it? I mean, obviously you mentioned about your dad and the experiences, access you had before you started fucking around with music, but did you find you had a knack for hip hop right off the bat?
Hey, could you repeat that again? And like it cut out, and I didn't fully hear the question.
Like you said, you had your dad and you had access to certain things growing up. Once you started fucking with hip hop, did you find that you had a knack for it?
Yeah. I mean, I think that like my beats were a lot better early on than my rapping was, because I started doing them at the same time. I don't think I got good at rapping until like 4 or 5 years into it, but I think I was good at making beats off like from the jump.
So when you first, from then till now, I'm sure you've learned a lot, but when you like, what is it that sparks something to make a beat to, create that sound, that vibe?
I mean, the way I've always looked at it is like, and this applies to engineering and not just producing, but I love, taking something, like making something out of nothing. Like I love the process of like, a dry vocal going from like a processed mixed vocal, and that's just like beats. It's like if I find a melody I like, whether I play it or sample it, I love the process of like what that turns into. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what sparks it so much. Is I still to this day have that like I'm excited by it. Like I have that curiosity. Like I have that inspiration, and I think it's like, okay, let me see how different I can flip this from what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I'm just playing little chords and shit, it's like, okay, the process of like, of what it becomes is what excites me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still think like to this day, I think I'm damn near more inspired than ever. Like, even like more so than when I was younger, like now, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that's what sparks it is that creative itch.
Would you say you have your own sound? Like, when you hear a Premiere beat, I recognize the Premiere beat pretty much a mile away, unless it's something, you know what I mean? Do you use like the same drums, or maybe you do a certain pitch on something, or is there a sound that you stick to, or you're just all over the place and fuck it all, just make a good beat?
Yeah,
and
I mean,
also,
I think
actually I got another one after that, but go with this one first.
I mean, I don't think I necessarily have like a style to the point where you can hear a beat and like automatically pick it's mine, maybe, but like I always wanted to be like a versatile producer, so I think I'm able to do a bunch of shit. But I usually, I love making like sample dark, grimy, like boom bappy beats, and I love making like modern like 808 style, and I would say those are like the two styles that I stick to more than anything. But I think I'm able to do anything, though. I think I could produce any genre. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to have a bunch of tools in my toolbox. So I feel like there's not one specific sound that I have, but there is like styles that I frequent. You know what I mean?
And when you make a beat, do you imagine a rap over it, or do you go with the music and you just feel the music?
I mean, I think because I rap, I think that helps with making beats, because even if I'm not like rapping along to a beat when I'm making it, I still am hitting those pockets that I know sound good with the rapper over it. So I feel like I do make beats with an artist mentality. You know what I'm saying? So I think I can kind of already hear it.
The reason I'm asking that is the producer I'm working with, right? I'm like, you got to put a bridge here, highlight the hook to the you know what I mean? Because he makes a good beat, right? He'd make a good loop, you know what I'm saying? And he makes it from sample too. He understands music, so he does two plugins and samples and shit, right? So if I hit one, it's gonna be mine. But what I'm saying is, right, I gotta tell him, I'm like, bro, do a 12 bar and then do me a little bridge, do me a little hook, highlight it somehow. He doesn't understand that somehow. I don't know why. He understands how to make music, but he doesn't understand how to structure a song. You know what I mean? I literally have to tell him how many bars I need for so long and do you know? So that's
yeah. I mean, you can't learn it all, man. That's why there's some people who are good beat makers and some people that are good producers. There's good producers who don't even play any of this shit. Quincy Jones isn't sitting there and fucking playing all the instruments. He's telling them how to do it.
That is crazy.
He can play the instruments, but that's like you're directing at that point. It's like you're directing a movie. You know what I'm saying? Martin Scorsese ain't really writing the scripts, but when they get the movie, they're fucking changing shit. They're doing, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I look at it. And it's like, it's just like you kind of have to have that sort of, a lot goes into the post-production of it. You know what I'm saying? Like a good loop is a good loop, but sometimes you need that extra. You need that post-production love to really bring it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit about Quincy Jones is nuts. Fucking, I remember when I found out about that probably, 5-6 years ago. It was something to do, as sad as this is, with Diddy. Diddy wanted to model
Right.
himself after Quincy Jones. That's why he made, what were they named? It's the Hitman or whatever. Like the
Oh,
producers
yeah,
that made the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
Biggie sound, all that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Sean C and LV and Stevie J and all those fools.
Yeah. And he made that shit. And he said that Quincy Jones is his idol because Quincy Jones doesn't make this music. He is more so like a composer. And it's crazy thinking that, you know, you don't even play these instruments and know them, you know, you don't have this shit mastered. And I mean, Quincy Jones, what
the
needs
GOAT,
to be
the
said,
greatest.
right? Like,
the greatest of all time.
yeah, that blows my fucking mind.
Some people just get it.
Yeah, but he could play though. Like that fool fucking plays jazz trumpet and shit. Like he knows how to play. You know what I mean? But it's like if I hear strings on this song and I don't know how to play strings, your best bet is to bring in a fucking string player and then you guys can collab and you know, and then the magic can get made. Music is very collaborative, bro. A lot of rap has this weird thing where people think that you can't collaborate. And it's like music has always been a collaborative thing. Not to say like it's cool to have people just write your shit word for word, even though I don't really have a problem with that because I don't do it, but me and the homies, we share bars and give each other lines all the fucking time.
But it's different from having a whole verse written by somebody else though, right?
Sort of, because singers do it all the time. Like
singers are different though. We're different. We're talking about different culture though, right? Completely. I'm very anal about this. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Like I used to be like that, but I just personally like I don't have a problem with it. Is what like I don't do it really like not like a whole verse or nothing like that. I couldn't do that, but like
a cool bar or something from your homies. You know what I mean? Is one thing, but. You know what I'm saying? When you're spitting whole verses, I think collaborating is great because I learn from the artists I collaborate with. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh fuck, that was cool, right? So I gotta, you know what I mean? Like it makes it challenges me, right?
Yeah, I get it though, because I mean, it is different with rap. You know what I'm saying? If someone is just blatantly writing your shit, like, you know, it puts an asterisk on it, but it's like it just depends to what degree. You know what I'm saying? Because collaborating, if you're in the same. Because most of the time, how I do it, it's a very even thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like everyone's contributing and shit. But if it depends, I think, like what the percentage is. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that determines if I would like, you know, have a problem with it or not. You feel me?
When you're you know, you make a beat for an artist, or say it's a collaboration, even with 2 artists or 3 artists or whatever. Do you give guidance and direction? Not saying every artist you work with needs that, but since you made the beat, do you, and not guide them all the way through, but at certain points, and not even writing lines, lyrics, none of that, just say like, hey, yo, you might want to hit this note this way, or if you're the rapping, you know, stretch this word, or
pitch and tones,
pitch, tone, whatever. Do you give them guidance? You do? Yeah,
absolutely, man, for sure. Like, but it really only with the shit that I'm like, it's really only if I produced it. Because if I'm just recording something, especially if I got hired to just record something, then I'm not saying a damn word about the music. Like I'm just gonna record it. But I'm serious. But if I'm working, if it's my shit and it's with an artist that I'm working with, then absolutely.
Oh, did you drop? I think you dropped.
Did you drop? Amy, you there?
I'm here. I think he muted himself.
Oh, I did. What was the last thing that I? What was the
you
last
said
thing
you won't fuck with it if you're just recording it. If it's
okay. So if I get hired to engineer, I'm not gonna say a damn thing because I don't think it's my place. But if it's something that I'm working on and I'm producing, then absolutely, I'll offer my suggestions and you know what I think. But then also like not have an ego about it either. Like be willing to both. But I look at it as throwing darts on the board. We'll both just throw darts on the board. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get tied up in a ego about that. But I absolutely love that collaborative process when recording. It's never really just like, okay, I made the beat, you did the rap, let's record it. It's definitely like something that as a producer and an artist, we're both chiseling at and both can offer input and you know, whatever is the best idea for the song wins, regardless of who the fuck created it, you know?
Have you ever worked with somebody who is like that? Who's like, yeah, cool story, bro, I'm good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
More so in like the early days though, like when I worked at a studio, I don't really have that problem because I don't really do recording sessions anymore. I do only at because my studio's at my house. I don't have random clients coming through, you know what I'm saying? So like, but definitely in the past, fuck yeah, I've dealt with that. For sure. Like working at a studio, yes, all the fucking time.
How has the studio changed since the beginning till now? Like you said, you're just fucking around on your dad's keyboard to start with, and what's it like now? Like how did it upgrade over the years?
Yeah, I mean, relatively, my setup is kind of still as similar as it always has been. I think the only thing that improved is just the quality of shit. Like now I've got like a Neumann microphone, which is a great quality. I've got an Avalon preamp, which is industry standard, top of the line preamp. I've got better monitors. I've got a better computer. But really, my setup has always been a fucking computer. Well, except when I had an MPC. But even when I had an MPC, I had a laptop, I had an M-Box, interface, and speakers, and like a MIDI keyboard. That's it. That's essentially what I still use to this day. Like, I don't have a bunch of extra crazy outboard gear or anything like that. But I would say that the technology has just improved a lot. The programs can do everything now. So it's like you don't need as much as equipment these days. Mm-hmm. So like fucking, but I would say like just the quality is what has changed so much more so than my setup. Because I've always just had like a sort of bedroom style setup, like a simple setup. But now, I have that now, but it's in like a treated room, and I've got like, top of the line equipment and shit now. So the quality is great.
How much is Avalon? How much is an Avalon preamp?
The preamp, I don't know. It's a few grand. I think brand new. It's like 3 Gs or something like that.
I know. I've talked to boys at the music store, and yeah, I'm pretty much tapped out for home recording. So now I'm looking at shit like that, but I don't know if I'm ready for a few grand.
Yeah, well, there's other options though. You don't, but Avalon is just like what I trained on and grew up on, and it's a standard, and I just love the sound. Like, but dude, there's shit you can get for under $1,000 for a preamp that'll work great too.
I've got a little $300 one, Rubik's, I think it's called Rubik's.
Oh yeah,
Rubik's, I know those. I got a Rubik's, I got a Bluebird, and I got a MacBook, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. That's the thing is this shit is so simple now. Like you can get great studio quality recordings with a simple setup. It used to not be like that. You used to have to go to a studio.
Yeah. Nowadays, a bit of foam, maybe $5,000 worth of shit, and you're good to go for a decent sound.
Oh yeah, dude. 5G. If you set up a studio for 5 Gs, right?
Well, MacBook alone costs $3,000, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So if you throw in a mic, a preamp, and some foam in there, it's $5,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For a decent home studio, that's what I'm saying. I pretty much tapped out because Buddy told me if you want to go any higher, you gotta buy studio equipment, but then you gotta really fuck with your room, right, to get the maximum out of it. So I don't have a proper room yet. But anyways, back to you producing.
So what do you wait? So you have an in-home studio, right?
Well, it's like a garage. Like there's a garage attached to there's like a 1-bedroom apartment, but there's a garage attached to it. So it's like the garage is completely gutted out, and carpeted, and sound treated, and that's where the lab is.
So do you have I'm sure most of it now is word of mouth, right? But like, do you have like a legit like schedule? Do people go like, hey, what's your third week of March like, Chase? Can I get in there? Or what? Like, how's that work for you?
A little bit, not so not so much these days, because like the only shit I'm working on like that is shit that I want to work on. But yeah, shit has to get scheduled though. You know what I'm saying? Like more so. I used to just do more sessions in the past, but I just don't like doing them. It's like I only want to work on shit that I want to work on now. So like, but yeah, like shit got to get scheduled. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to know. We got to figure it out in advance.
And you have to. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, what changed for you? I mean, depending on how many people you have coming and going, and I'm sure you're in Cali right now, what kind of regulations or whatever are going on? Like, how much and what changed for you this last year with all the COVID shit?
All right, like the pandemic in general is like, fucking, it's crazy. It's very unfortunate and all that. The thing is fucking like the lifestyle of being like an engineer and a producer and an artist, you kind of already built for this quarantine shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I really already was not leaving the spot and like not having like, hella people and like, so not too much change, to be honest. It's like, I don't go anywhere really anymore. Like that changed. And like, when you do go out, obviously it's like, that's different. But like, I think just, the session slowed up a little bit for sure. But like, I was kind of already in that sort of lifestyle.
How much do you perform? Do you perform a lot when there's no quarantine? Was that affected?
Yeah, but not that much as an artist. Like I haven't in the last like 5 years, even like I haven't really been doing shows as a solo artist, but like, you know, I was doing a lot of shows like, you know, when Illmac tours, I'm his DJ, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, I've done multiple tours with Satire or artists like Reverie and shit. Like in those situations, I'll do shows and go on the road and tour and shit. But like, I kind of haven't been doing in the last handful of years. I personally haven't been doing a lot of shows. It's more so me being like, you know, DJing for artists that I produce for and shit. So that slowed up. But right before quarantine, like we weren't in like a crate, like we haven't been doing hella shows, you know, we've just been creating hella content. So, I mean, it did slow down. But I kind of wasn't doing a lot of shows last year anyways.
A name you just mentioned there, Illmac. You motherfuckers are like Snoop and Dre, like Jay-Z and Timbaland, for fuck's sakes. What's the fucking deal? Where did you guys link up? Is it like Disaster and Lush? The first time we had Lush on, Lush said, I said, people believe that you guys were born together and created battle rap. And Lush said, we did. That's true. So I don't know where the fuck you and Illmac came from, but where was that relationship formed? Because you guys make beautiful fucking music and have for years.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, man. I really really fucking put my all into that shit, and like I really care about it. And you know, I think he's one of the best rappers of all time ever. That it came from battle rap. Like basically, the way that we linked was I had seen the 2006 WRCs.
Okay.
My homie, I forget how it used to be on demand, like not just YouTube. Like it used to be on cable on demand.
Yeah.
And fucking I remember seeing one of the battles. I forget which one it was. I think it was Illmac and Thesaurus versus maybe Cyanide and Majesty or something. It was definitely Illmac and Thesaurus. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I went back and, you know, went on YouTube and watched all of the first WRC, and my fucking mind was blown. You know what I'm saying? Like that was crazy. Mm-hmm. I was so impressed, and I was just so, you know what I'm saying? I just became obsessed with it, and I hit up Illmac on Myspace and was just like, yo, like, hey dude, like I like you're hella tight. Like, oh, he had some music on there too, and I listened to it. I was like, damn, this fool's fire. And I just messaged him. I was like, yo, I'm a producer. I fuck with your shit. Here's some beats. And fucking, he was like, oh shit. Like he loved them right off the rip. And then, so that was 2006. And the first project he ever put out, which is called The Rain Check, I have a beat on there. So I've had beats on every, you know what I'm saying? Like since Illmac had put out shit with Sand People, and he might've put out little tiny things as a solo artist, but Rain Check was his real first shit. And that was when we linked. And basically from there, that's where it all sparked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like as the years went on, like I would go to Portland, he would come to Sacramento, and then we would just always make music like that. Like some, you know, maybe a couple times a year we'd link, and then I'd send him beats. So I always had beats on his shit. And then the relationship just grew. It grew to the point where, you know what I'm saying, I'd start going out to Portland and kicking it for hella long. He'd come out to Sac for an extended period of time. And then I moved to Southern California, and then he moved to Southern California. So it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like we just always linked and made music. And then over the years, like we eventually got in the same place. I mean, that was literally my neighbor. Illmac is my next door neighbor, like literally. So like
from fucking MySpace to next door neighbors.
Oh, he made it into your top 8.
Yeah, for sure. He was for sure in the top 8. Yep.
Damn.
Nah, but like that's really what it, you know what I'm saying? And that's like, you know, that's my partner, that's my brother. Like obviously like we do hella music together, but like, you know, that's folks, that's fam.
So
but
wait,
he was like
he
the first
you into this like Twitch gaming thing on the low? I haven't seen you doing much of that.
Yeah. I just need to upgrade my setup. Like I started last year, I started to stream, but I need a little bit better setup. So, but I'm definitely going to launch my Twitch channel and be making beats on there weekly and shit. Like that's definitely in the cards. Absolutely.
So before seeing Illmac battle rap and WRCs or Scribble Jam or whichever one you mentioned, were you into battle rap at all? Like, were you like?
Yeah, I used to battle too, bro. I want. Like that, no, but like way before that, bro. Like, like freestyle tournaments. Like I won the Source Unsigned Hype. Like the Source was touring with, the Source was touring with And One in like 2004, and they did battles at all the big cities and shit. And they had this competition that was basically like the winner from each city was getting flown out to New York, and they're supposed to have an article in Unsigned Hype column and do a showcase for hella labels. So I won the Northern California one of that. I like, it was like a freestyle tournament set up. I probably battled 10 people. The finals were at Arco Arena in front of a packed fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like hella people in the arena. It wasn't as full as an NBA game, but fucking packed.
Damn.
And like, there was like a year or 2 years where I did hella freestyle tournaments in Sacramento, and I damn near won all of them. Like I was popping in Sacramento because of that shit. And that was like, yeah, was like 04, you know what I'm saying? So like I always, basically the first exposure I ever got to that shit was like looking online and like rapmusic.com and mcbattles.com. There was like this was when they still had Real Player. There was like old ass footage of like it was like Awkwards. Awkwards was one of the first people I ever saw footage of. And then it was like there was like some Project Blowed shit and Scribble Jam. So I was always on it, bro. I was on the freestyle battle movement early, and I participated and was kind of raw. I was supposed to go to the Scribble Jam prelims, the ones where fucking Illmac battles in it and J-Jack and shit. I would have Illmac won that. So I would have had to battle that fool. And so I'm hella glad I never. And then basically,
you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, but what happened with the Source though? It was when the Benzino shit was happening and they went bankrupt. So literally, they canceled the competition.
Like shit.
After everyone had won, and it was basically like, as you know, in the time in between the N1 tour and the tournament happening, and to when the showcase was supposed to be, they went bankrupt and then they canceled the whole shit.
Holy shit! So
I was jaded. I was so pissed off, and because I'd also like been doing all these tournaments, and it'd been like leading up to this big thing, and then basically I kind of stopped fucking with battling up until like a couple years later when WRC.
Bro, you're like still mad now. I love this.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck the Source or fuck Benzino. I mean, you know they're you know classic publication, but fuck the 2004 the Source. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I was also fucking with Eminem Tub and all those Eminem disses on the. It was like at the same time. I was like, hell yeah, fuck these fools.
I knew I liked you. All right.
Yeah. Eminem went fucking in on Benzino.
Oh, what? Nailing the Coffin and the Sauce and shit. Those are some of the best diss records of all time.
Yeah. Which one do you like better, the Sauce or Nailing the Coffin?
Nailing the Coffin.
Really? That's what everyone says. I like the Sauce better.
That's the one. I'm not mad.
I know everybody says that.
Who are some other rappers that you were into coming up? Because obviously you're not solely a producer, but majority of your work is production over, say, the past 15 years. So, being into rappers and you rap, who were some of the ones before you got into producing, before you got into battling that you were either inspired by, a fan of, whatever?
It was really like Wu-Tang was huge for me. Especially 36 Chambers. That's the album that got me into rap like that. That album changed my life. So definitely Wu, Method Man specifically. And like I was super, super fucking with Eminem. I was super fucking with like The Roots and like Black Star and then Jay-Z. And then I also loved at that time like DMX and like and No Limit and like the Bad Boy shit, like Jadakiss. Like I always loved the Locks, and Jada was always one of my favorite rappers. So like those, like that whole, and then a little bit of Atmosphere and like Brother Ali, like rhyme sayers, like that whole type of shit.
Yeah,
that explains the dark
and little and
beat,
then.
Right?
Yeah, and Lil Wayne, like Lil Wayne was still is in my top 5. Like Lil Wayne was
you had to go and say a name I'm not a fan of, Lil Wayne.
That's fine, but
but the Atmosphere, Brother Ali, I really like that
was good shit. Up to here, right?
I don't think there's any guest we've had yet that's well, I'm sure they are into it, but those names came up. Those are names you don't hear too often. And another one is
Penn, but that's about it.
Yeah. I'm sure Penn for sure. I'm sure Lush fucking, he knows who they are, listens to some of their shit, whatever, but they didn't come up. Another one you mentioned though that doesn't, I don't think it came up aside from No Limit movies, No Limit Records. Like back when they had the fucking those plastic different colored cases, you listened to them then?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, Ghetto Dope and all that shit.
Oh yeah, dude. The Silk the Shocker album, Made Man, fucking Mystical Ghetto Fabulous.
Yes.
Come on, dude.
I had all that garbage.
Yeah.
One of the other
Fire.
356 million releases.
Man.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, dude, like that whole shit were like that just took the industry by storm, dude,
Yep.
because that was crazy. That was like full. No one had done that type of shit where it's like the Bay Area was doing like the independent out the trunk shit, but then to combine that with a major label deal like that was crazy, bro.
I guess
that's fucking insane.
No, Master P made big moves with No Limit in the Bay Area, Southern California, and also back in Louisiana. But yeah, I forgot about that. Like he was hanging out with a lot of Bay Area guys to soak up game
dude.
before he started that.
Specifically Richmond, California, which is like right by SF and Oakland. But he said that before though. He's like gave him credit. Like he's acknowledged that he got hella, you know what I'm saying? Basically, he got the game from fucking the Bay Area, combined that with like the dope hustling they were already doing. And then, you know, that just, you know, having that sort of mentality dealing with the corporate world was like, you know, that was like an unprecedented deal at the time because it was No Limit. And then the Cash Money deal was even crazier. The Cash Money deal was like a $30 million deal and they got to keep the masters. Like, what the fuck? Like, that never, or wait, let me rephrase that. Birdman got to keep the masters.
I was going to say, baby made out good on that one. What do you think about Manny Fresh? As a producer,
I mean, you know, legendary producer. I don't think I necessarily put him in my top shit, but I wouldn't be mad if people did it. I think he's a legend, and I think, you know, he was single-handedly producing all of that shit, dude. Like, you got to give the guy his credit.
Yep, he created a whole sound for that shit, for that Cash Money shit.
Yeah, a legend. That's how I would answer. I think he's a legend.
Mm-hmm, definitely. Now, another talent that you have, or a thing you have a knack for, is because there's, you know, and I agree with it for the most part. Battle rappers can't make songs with dick. They're fucking terrible at it. Like, I'd say a good 86% of them are fucking awful at making music. Yet somehow you work with all these battle rappers and make great fucking music with them. Is there something that you what, are people yelling at me in the background?
Oh, sorry, no, my bad. I walked into the other room to grab a lighter. People in my crib.
I thought you just put on speaker and you're with a whole crew of battle rappers like, yo, fuck you. But yeah, no, you know, we already mentioned Illmac, but Fredo and many of the other ones you've worked with over the years, right? Like you actually make you work well with them, and usually they're not good. I mean, what is your thoughts on that? First of all,
dude, I always. Oh wait, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, the idea, the whatever you want to call it, the stigma, whatever the fuck word you want to use, that battle rappers can't make music. I heard Illmac say he said it the best. Is like he was like most rappers can't make music. He's like fuck just battle rappers. He's like he said most rappers suck, and I hella feel that because that's how I feel about it. Like it summarizes it perfectly. It is true. Most of them do suck, but it's like, yeah, you know what? In general, most of them do. It's just like battle rap and songs should be very separate. And I think the reason why that, you know, perception is out there is because a lot of the battle rappers who got on kind of early basically fucking either A, sounded like they're battling on their songs, which is only cool to a certain extent, or they got like a big poppy single and then rap tell it differently on it and try to like appeal to whatever mainstream or whatever. But like I think that's where that comes from. But I think that in general most people aren't really that good. I just like to find the ones who are, you know what I'm saying? Like it was never like it just kind of happened naturally too. It was never like oh, I'm gonna find like the battle rappers who are actually good at making music and do that. It's just I was just around battle rap a lot, and then I fucked with hella people, but I just naturally just vibed and figured out which ones were tight, and it just so happened, like, you know what I'm saying, I was cool with a lot of them. So I mean, I think that just happened naturally. It wasn't something I was really thinking about. I just think that in general most rappers aren't really that good, so like I just like to fuck with the ones who I think are tight, you know. And back in like I guess a little earlier, before you know, back when you were just trying to get your shit out as much as possible and you were around hella battle rappers, were you just trying to get all of them to try different things, or like they come to you and try different things? Like, did you work with a lot that didn't work out? I'm not going to get you to name names after this. This isn't a setup question. I'm just wondering, did you work with various battle rappers where, you know, the shit is in the vault forever?
No, not really. No, I've always been.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
always,
Make magic with
dude.
them.
I've always been very selective, though, dude. Like, of who I want to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really like this, dude. If I don't think someone's cool as a person, I don't care how good they are. You know what I'm saying? We can't vibe if we're not able to just chill. So so the people that I did fuck with are the people that I was hella cool with and able to chill with, and on top of them being really dope. Like, I've just always been very selective with who I work with. So fortunately, I didn't have to deal with, like, you know, trying to make songs and then not working out, or fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, or like feeling like it's a waste of time, or the song sucking or whatever. I will say this: I do have a couple songs with Diz that will never ever come out. I'll say that.
Have you worked with Diz quite a bit?
No, I wouldn't say quite a bit. I mean, I've known him for years, but I mean, yeah, we've tried to make some songs before, but one of them came out like hella years ago. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say like hella. I mean, I've kicked it with him hella. Like, that's the homie. But we've tried it. We've made a couple things. Like, but it was never really like a big thing. It was you know, they just never came out. We just never finished them, really.
And are there any that like, I guess not even battle rappers, but has there been any bigger names that you've came close to working with and not got the chance, but not got the chance? It didn't work out.
Dude, I had a beat on Nothing Was the Same that fucking eventually didn't make the cut on the Drake album, but I had a beat on there, dude.
For real?
I had a beat on there, recorded to it, but it never came. It just didn't make the cut, you know, because that shit happens all the time, though, because it's like, you got to think of artists like that, how much they're just making with output. And it's like, you know, they're probably picking from a million songs. And, you know, I never was personally... Well, I was definitely disappointed, but I wasn't tripping. But yeah, like, I would say that's the biggest one that didn't work out, which that, you know, probably would have been a life changer. But yeah, dude, there's been a few other situations like that where I've had records that just didn't make the cut. But Drake is definitely the biggest one that, like, I actually had. I had it, but it just didn't make the cut.
So with a song like that, even though it doesn't make the cut, where does that end up? Like,
I don't know. I never even had it. I heard it over the phone. I never even had a copy of it.
That's how secretive that is, eh? So like,
yeah, for sure.
Holy shit. Wow. So,
well, dude, sometimes that shit gets put out and then you find out that way. Like, oh shit, like, and then you got to go back and do the paper, which is very frustrating because that's not how business should be done. But that happens, and that's not just happened to me. That happens to producers all the time, where shit will come out, and that's how they find, you know, like, damn, I didn't even know that record was going to be used. Like, that happens, bro, for real.
Do people jack beats a lot when they're not, you know, an established? If it's not fucking Gin and Juice by fucking Snoop Dogg, right? If it's not a beat that's that known, like, if it's someone just trying to get their beats out there, do beats get jacked a lot?
Yeah, they do. It's gotten a little better now because people are like putting, like, a lot of producers will put out beats like on YouTube and shit, like with the intention of it, like wanting to get not necessarily stolen, but like used. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them will be like, you know, it's free to get used. I know there's been big records. Like, what was that big ass record? There was some. I think it was Old Town Road, bro. I think Old Town Road was initially a beat that Lil Nas X like found on YouTube, used it, and then, you know, it either came out or before it came out, then they contacted the producer and, you know, probably sorted out all the business. But that shit happens, bro. From that, the biggest level possible, you know, a huge global hit like Old Town Road to like the underground. But I think it's not as prevalent these days because people, you know, beats have hella tags in them, and it's pretty obvious who made the beat these days. So the producers got a good case if they did get it stolen to be like, yo, like, this is my beat. Like, you know, they've got the proof of it and shit. Like, the rapper might have used a tagged fucking MP3 snippet, but the producer's got the file. He's got the files though. He's got the source files, you know?
Yeah. And same with sampling too. I remember the first time hearing about like a sample being a thing that can fuck someone right up was, I think it was Ready or Not by the Fugees. There was something that Wyclef sampled from some band from the other side of the fucking world, and it came back on him, bit him in the ass. That's the days before the internet, but even still, with the way the thing is now, lesser known people or people is taking shit from other parts of the world. They think, oh, nobody's going to hear this in California or Toronto or whatever, right? Does that shit happen as far as you know?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think more so like it used to happen more, but like the way I've always looked at it is like I don't even like worry about it. I'm like, I'll just sample as I see fit. And I've always thought like, if you do get in trouble for it, like theoretically it's because a lot of people heard it. So the song's big enough to where, you can either negotiate a split or you could pay for it or whatever. That's kind of why people ask that, like, oh, how do you deal with sample clearances? And I'm like, I don't even think about it. Like, I just make I just make it and do it. And then if it if it gets to the point where it's like, oh shit, like we're actually, either getting, got a cease and desist or blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, your shit should be popping enough to where, you could have, if your song got heard to the point where the person, the original artist heard it, you should be good to cover it.
Have you heard about that little flip shit with the Game Over?
I like the little sound in it.
Apparently, he sampled Pac-Man and it took all the proceedings of the fucking song, and it was a hit.
Yeah, see that doesn't surprise me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a big that's you're dealing with the big company. Like that's
they
not
just came and said you give us all of that shit.
Yeah, no, I know that that song "Breathe" by Fabulous. Fucking,
I love that.
Just Blaze, I love that. One of my favorite. Just Blaze is so awesome. But Just Blaze said that they sampled a band called Supertramp, and it was one of those things where it was like the clearance fee was so big that like no one even made money off the record, but it was just so dope that I guess they wanted hundreds of racks for the fee and like 100% of the back end or 90% of whatever it was. It was something crazy where like they didn't make money off it, but the record was just so big that it was more than that. But yeah, that happens for sure, but I don't think that happens as much these days. And especially that's why, like, going back to the shit I was saying earlier about why like flipping producer packs and shit is like that, like kind of eliminates that, you know what I'm saying? Because if you do need to clear it, you can just hit them up. Like it's got contact info and all these things. And that's how so many records get created these days. Like if you look at just the credits, like there's so much collaboration going with producers. And I think that, that takes out some of that. Oh, you run the risk of getting sued by this person, although sampling is always going to be a part of hip hop, but shit, I'd rather the sample come from an original source than have to worry about getting taxed by some company.
Have you ever been sued or been threatened or
threatened, threatened, but
plenty of times.
No, dude, I do good business. I'm not shady like that. Like there was one thing where it was like, I signed a record deal that fucking was kind of boof, but like, fortunately, the contract was so bad that I was able to just leave and just ignore it. Like it was technically a 7-year contract and it was with Warner and all this shit, but it was so bad that I just left and was like, and nothing happened. So like they threatened me once and I was like, yeah, right. You guys didn't pay me any of the money you were supposed to. Y'all don't got money for no lawyer.
Are you cutting vocals or loops right now?
Like, what do you mean?
I keep hearing your keyboard clicking. It almost sounds like you're mixing something without listening to it.
Oh shit! No, I have a fucking. I just have a controller in my hand. I'm just kidding. I didn't know you could hear it. I'm just fidgeting with it. I'm hella fidgety. You know what I'm saying? I'm just fidgeting.
I thought maybe you trimming vocals or some shit. You know what I mean? While talking.
Nah.
Back when I was covering combat sports, there was a photographer I had on my show. I had him on once. And he's a very good hit. Actually, he's a very good hip hop photographer too. But crazy MMA photographer. And while I'm doing the fucking episode with him, this was live, and all he is what the fuck is going on? He's at a gym taking fucking photos with earbuds in and the fucking thing hanging out, the microphone piece, doing the interview. I was like, wow, you are dedicated, my man.
That's impressive.
It was a terrible fucking show because of it. But I appreciate his heart, right? I appreciate his work ethic. But I just wish he would have set the camera down for fucking 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So back to battle rap, as Family Man Hayes says, it made so famous. Obviously, or actually, I shouldn't say obviously, you're away from it. When's the next Chase Moore battle? What do we do?
Never, ever.
We're gonna set up you versus Illmac? No. handicap match.
Man.
You versus Illmac and Thesaurus.
I do not want that smoke, bro.
I don't blame you.
No smoke. No, I'll never battle again, dude. My last battle was like 2011. I fucking hate the anxiety of it. It's like I didn't get paid enough for the time you have to put into it. In order to be like at the top of the food chain, you have to do this shit a lot. It takes a lot out of you. It's a lot of focus. It's a lot of negative focus. And I just like, it was really just, I just never liked the stress and the pressure of like, of a battle and just having to think about it and memorize your material, and you only get one shot. And it's just, my friends are the best in the world. I'd rather just support them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like have the passion for it like I do with other shit. That's kind of why I stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I realized, I was like, dude, if I just never had a desire to be like hella good. You know what I'm saying? And I hate my old battles. So like, I don't really like mind them necessarily, but like, I'll never watch them or even tell people to pull them up or nothing like that.
So as far as I assume you must still be a fucking fan, right? Look, you're just talking about your homies do this shit. You support them. And outside of that, I'm sure you're a fan. Who are some of the guys that you still like today currently?
I mean,
whether
I
they're
don't really
still active.
I don't really watch it, to be honest, bro. I don't really watch it.
Really?
No more.
That
like,
shocks me.
Yeah, dude. I just don't. I don't know. Like I watch some of the Grand Prix battles, and I'll watch them if I'm on Ruin Your Day and shit. But like, if it's a big battle with someone I fuck with, I'll watch it. If it's a Hollow the Dawn battle, I'll fucking watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like shit like that. Like I like all the people I used to like. I don't really know any of the new guys. I couldn't really tell you anything, to be honest. I don't know them, but I just don't follow it like that. I like all the people who I used to like. I think Pat Stay is definitely one of the greatest ever. I always Hollow is fucking amazing. Yep. Like I like, what I'm saying? There's certain people I like. Tay Rock at times. I like Daylight at times. I like, it's the people who've been good. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know no new people. I just don't really follow it like I used to at all. Like not even close.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I still, I'm still tapped in, but the thing that I found over the past, I hate to say like old generation, new generation, because there is a generation between in a way, but like that when Illmac, Soulcon, fucking Pat, like all those guys coming up, Passwords, all of them, they were looking to take your fucking head off in a battle. Nowadays is all this everybody's buddies and everybody's friends and shit, and they battle rap gangs and crews and all this shit. I'm not with that as much, so it's a lot harder. And another thing too is the creativity is gone, but I think part of that is, when we look at the Illmacs, the Thesaurus, Awkwards, all these guys back then, they created, certain styles in battle rap. So it's hard to create something when so many different styles and innovations of styles have already been done. But there are a few new nice ones. I must say.
There's definitely some. I know there's some new talent, but that's exactly what happened with battle rap, though. Is everyone just sounded like each other, and it just came kind of boring to me from all aspects. Like not even like from all across battle rap. You know what I'm saying? From like big URL shit, or if I click a Little League, I'm like, oh, he's trying to rap like this fool or do this style. Like it's not enough. I like the people who I like. I tend to find are the people who are super original. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. That's something I think that plagues battle rap a little bit. Is there's a lot of copying and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. What I really liked about the Grand Prix was the mix. There was some guys in there I wasn't familiar with. There were the Disasters, the Thesauruses, the Sharones, the fucking Real Deal. The Champ hopped in there, right? Like it was cool, and it gave a nice shine to guys like Clone, who I wasn't very familiar with Saint. I've really liked that kid since he came out. So I was not very familiar, but familiar.
Yeah,
enough,
like you've seen his battles.
And I was a fan already. Like I thought, this kid has real potential, and he proved it. So I mean, like he made that legitimate. I'm trying to think of their names, but regardless, right? I like how they had that blend. But okay,
because there's different style. That's the one thing too about battle rap is people act like you can't like multiple styles. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear funny shit. I want to hear someone do crazy ass rhyming. I want to hear crazy punchlines. It's like it's good to have, because those are the best attributes of battle rap. So I agree with you completely. The tournament definitely highlighted that. And people act like it's got to be one way or another. It's like, oh, you either like street shit or you like jokes. It's like, that was always stupid as fuck to me.
Yep. I completely agree with you. That's what Grind Time did best. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you want? We have everything.
Exactly.
Fucking served everyone, and everyone was happy with it.
Yeah, man. I mean, to this day, I think that's the best era of battle rap is that Battle of the Bay era. I don't think it's topped it since, because you had everything. But that's my personal favorite.
No, I gotta agree with you. So what's in the works these days? Lush was on here talking about you and Fredo and fucking Illmac, and you got a whole crew together working all kinds of shit. What's this all about?
Well, all right. So for music wise, the shit I'm really focusing on is Water Buffaloes, man. It's me and Fredo Algebra, man. It's like, it's our group. It's like, our collaborative shit. Like, that's really where all my focus is. Like, I don't know I'm sure eventually I'll put out a solo album, but I'm like, I don't even want to do solo shit. Like, I'm going to do like songs here and there, but it's Water Buffaloes, bro. It's Dub B's. Like, that's all I'm focusing on as far as my shit, like what I'm personally on. And we just, we put out the first Water Buffaloes album in the end of October. And, we've got like, 4 or 5 videos for the album out there. There's merchandise you can get on chillfamo.com. And then we just pretty much wrapped up the second one. I still have to mix it, but we're looking at like a March or April release for that. So that's like the number one on my list for what I'm doing. But then, this whole year, me and Illmac have been doing these seasonal themed albums, and we already put out spring, summer, and autumn, and we're working on winter. So that's been taking up a lot of time. Satire's new album, The Roaring, just came out, which I produced all of it. Vel the Wonder's fucking album came out, which I produced all of it. And
when do you sleep?
I don't. Well, actually, no, the thing is, I just sleep really late, bro. I get a lot of sleep, but I go to bed at like 6, bro, like every night. Like, that's how I am, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I get the amount of sleep that I get is still normal. It's just the time that I sleep. I'm a night owl. I'm a super, super night owl. And then Blimes and Gab I've been working with a lot on their new shit. That's kind of, and then there's Baby Franco, there's fucking Zootaville, like, and as you said, Lushes, we got an EP coming out. Like, I really just like working with the people that I just fuck with, like, as people, you know what I'm saying? We just happen to make great music together, but that's what I've been working on now.
Yes, and on Lush's new album, Hyams, it's you fucking have produced how many songs on that? 4, was it?
Fuck, I don't know how many I did on Hyams. I did a few of them.
Yeah, 3 or 4, I think it was, something like that.
Something like that.
What was it like producing or like working with Lush? I mean, you worked with Lush before that, but when we had Lush on just a week and a half ago or so, he was talking about how a lot of that was recorded when he was still fucked up. He's been sober now for just over a year. Have you worked with Lush, like, as obviously before, but since then? And is there a difference? Do you like one better than the other, or is it the same across the board?
Well, okay. For first things first, though, like, I've known Lush as long as I've known Illmac. The first time I ever kicked it in person with these fools was on the same day. Like, Sam People had a show, and this was like right after me and Illmac started working, and then we all went and kicked it at Lush's crib. So like the first time I ever met any of these fools, I was with Illmac, Password, Bo Rat, and we went to Lush's crib. So I've known Lush since like 2007, 2006. Yeah. That's been my partner for that long. Yeah. And like, but I would, to answer your question, I would notice a huge difference, but that's not even just on his end, because I haven't I quit drinking like maybe like 6-7 months ago. I quit fucking around with other drugs, and I used to really get down, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the drinking and shit. Okay. So I still smoke weed and shit, but like, the most recent sessions I did with Lush were clear headed and fucking, and I noticed it absolutely fucking, because it used to be that we would be, we'd just be hella fucked up in all the sessions. And I and not even just with our music, I notice it in all my old music. I can hear it, you know what I'm saying? So now it's definitely like, like clarity is a big difference, you know what I'm saying? And just like, when you're hella fucked, some people think that like, you need it to record, in which I thought, And sometimes, but the reality of it is a lot of times that shit clouds your judgment, and like you don't like takes either won't sound as good, or like, you know, an idea that you thought was good. Like there's nothing wrong with getting fucked up and making music. It's really fun to do it that way. But in my experience, it clouds judgment. And now when I listen to my shit, like whether it's like, you know, me and Lush's new shit or my shit, I'm just like, the recordings sound cleaner, the takes are better, the enunciation is better, the diction is better. Like it's a huge difference, and I think it's for the better for sure.
So did you sort of sober up because of doing better music, or was it like did you feel the financial, or did you feel the health? What made you put the bottle down?
Like definitely, I just felt like shit for so long, bro. And it's like when you're at that point where you're sipping every day, and I'm like, I'm not a person that does shit in moderation. Like I'm just not. That's not. It's not me. You know, I get fucked up. So like, yeah, it was just a culmination of all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because then it's like with the alcohol comes blow and all this other shit. And it's just like, it's just, you know, I just felt that like, damn, like I've been going super hard for like a long time. And like, I just wanted to feel better, bro. And like, it worked out. Like I was a little worried at first, but like, dude, my music is the best it's ever been.
Right.
Like my mental clarity is the best it's ever been. Like my inspiration and focus. And I used to think that, you know what I'm saying, that it would get hindered if I like stopped getting fucked up and shit. But it's the complete opposite, man.
I don't think I'll ever quit weed, man, but I hear you, because last time I got high, I missed a year. Literally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still smoke weed, man. I can't. I love weed.
We both, Kirill and I both smoke weed like a motherfucker
right now.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, me too.
Yeah. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Other demons have had to get out of our lives in the past as well.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just need to take, and you know, I'll probably at some point drink again. It's not like I'm just like, but like I look at it as I quit though. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like I'm sure there'll be a time, but like I don't look at it that way. I'm like, nah, I stopped, you know?
Yeah. All right, Amy, you got some randoms for us? You always got randoms. Amy's always got some random follow-ups at the end. I swear she sits there with a fucking notebook and just takes notes. And like, oh, I got one here. I got one here. She's good. She's solid all the way through. But she always has these tail end questions, and they're entertaining as fuck. Don't let me down.
So here comes the big letdown.
Oh!
No, I'm curious. Who have you not fucking worked with, dude? I mean, I think on this show especially, we kind of come through the angle of like battle rap and like that whole kind of, you know, group of people. But you know, I had a Drake beat, even though they didn't use it. You know, like who the fuck have you not worked with?
I mean, there's a lot of people I haven't. Like, what scale are we talking about? I mean, I've never worked with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I would fucking love to work with Hov, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what scale do you mean? Because like, there's a lot of big artists I've never worked with. But if it's just battle rap, is that what you mean?
Well, I mean, overall, I mean, obviously you've not worked with fucking everybody, right? Otherwise, you damn sure wouldn't be talking to us, would you?
No, I would. No. Come on. I wouldn't do y'all like that. I'm on the ground level with it.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. But for real, I mean, like, if you think about it from, you know, through the lens of this show, like, yeah, primarily battle rap, but then, you know, all the artists, maybe not the older ones, like, you're not out there like, well, can we hang back together, right? But
right, I know Griselda is the answer. That's who I want to work with like the most is Griselda. I haven't worked with them. I've chilled with Benny before. I've sent him beats, but nothing's landed yet. But that's who I want to work with. Like is fucking Conway, Benny, Westside. Like I love that whole movement. That's who I would say. I mean, of course, there's big. You know, I'll want to do something for Jay or M or you know Black Thought and shit. But Griselda though. That's who I want to work with that I haven't worked with.
Like, would you do some shit like, I don't know, like TV work or soundtracks or late night shows? Like if you were tapped for that kind of shit?
Yeah, I've already been doing that. Honestly, this last year I've been working on like cartoons and shit like that. And like, I've like doing the audio, like it spawned from Illmac's rap off shit, but like there's like a development deal for a series, and like I've been doing like shit for like companies and cartoons and shit. So like I'm kind of tapped into the TV world, and I've got like my beats on like in like the background of a couple TV shows. And I'm like tapped into that market. I'm trying to wiggle my way into it more because of how lucrative it can be. But definitely like, I'm just now like in that world. So I'm trying to expand that because there's bags on bags to be made.
This is probably random, but like, given that you do sometimes rap as well, you're not just always on the backside of things. Would you do or have any interest in doing like voiceover work?
So, absolutely. I can do like accents really good, and I can do impressions good if I hear a voice and shit. So I would totally, absolutely love to get into that. Like I've talked about that before, and fucking even on some of this cartoon shit that we're working on that hasn't came out, like I've started to lend little voices and shit. But I would super be down to get into that line of work. I think I could do really good at it.
Like, I want you to do sound effects and voiceover work for video games. I don't know even why I say that, but I feel like that would be a perfect fit.
Oh, I could do it, and I fucking play enough of them. So fucking, saying I can't put the fucking Warzone down. Like Call of Duty's got me.
See, and you could be making money off that shit. But we know it's funny what you just said, though. You just segue into my other two randoms. First of all, I realize it's been a minute. You're a couple years younger than me, but you've been over here for a minute. But where you grow up, you literally learn how to speak. The first formative years of your life are usually pretty meaningful for people and their vernacular, their accents. You were in Australia till you were 8 or so. How the fuck do you sound like what you sound like now?
Well, I lost my accent pretty quick. Like it basically up until you're like 15 or 16, they say that's when like your vocal cords really like set in for life with like how your voice is going to sound. So it's one of those things where it's like, I didn't try to lose it, but like my parents, for example, were like in their late 30s or mid 30s when we moved, and they, to this day, their accents are strong, thick as fuck, like just straight up Australian accents. I didn't try to lose mine. It just naturally happened. You know what I'm saying? Like within like 2 years, I would say, just being, like naturally, like because it's like when you're around shit, it's like if you go to another country or something like that, like, you might be around something, you start picking shit up. It's like being immersed in it. It eventually will lead to like, your accent changing. So like, it's just from being here is how it happened,
I honestly, like, the reason I asked that and was so stuck on it, I moved when I was like 10 to a very different place from where I started. And to this day, I have people tell me I don't sound like I'm from the Midwest, which I'm not. But I don't hear it. Like, I don't think I have any type of accent, but people tell me I do. And so I was like, how could you not even have like a little like twang, or not twang? Australia's not twangy, but
Oh, what are you talking about? Australia's got a lot of twang in its fucking accent, right?
I knew you would do it. Finally. All right. I'll leave you alone on that. Even better, cool. Since you're laughing. Who do you sound like when you laugh, Chase?
Fuck, I don't know. Like
yes, you do. Come on.
I don't know who I sound like. Do I like? I think I have a pretty unique laugh. I don't know. Is there someone that you're going to tell me my laugh sounds like?
You 1,000,000% turn into Seth Rogen when you're fucking laughing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard that before. I get that for sure. I have heard that one before, actually. I have heard that. Yeah.
That's because you do. That's 100%. Like earlier on.
That's cool.
I don't even like him too much. Like I don't watch. Well, I shouldn't say that. That was a shitty thing to say. You sound like an asshole. No, I don't watch movies. Like I'm really bad at movies, so I don't know a lot about stuff. But like that's the number one thing I know. And the second you laughed earlier, I was like, God damn. Maybe we can get Seth. Maybe he could just be Seth for his show. I don't know. Yeah.
I see that. I can see that for sure.
Like, are you also Mr. Impression? Can you do impersonations?
Yeah, I can do them. I mean, there's none that I can just be like, oh, I got a really good blah, blah, blah. But
yes, you do.
It's more so, it's more so people. No, it's more people we know. Like if I did the impression, you wouldn't get it because it's like the homies and shit. I could do the homies certain laugh or style of voice, the way he talks. Like
if you're telling me you can't do an Illmac off the top, I'm hanging up on you.
He's a little hard one. I can more so emulate. Like I could emulate certain things, but it wouldn't really sound like that.
Can you give us a listen by Illmac? Listen.
Oh fuck! I don't know. I just don't want it to. I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to.
No.
Nah, I'm not
what
gonna
about like
drop
a
the
Lush
listen.
or a Diz? These are stand-up.
Oh, I could do. Okay, folks. Look, I'm saying that. I mean, Fist of Palm Nation. We got a Clash of the Titans coming right up. You feel me? Coming out of the depths of the West, say it off of your chest. Who is you, player? There you go.
Oh my god, dude, that's legit. I love it. Are you familiar? Here's a random fucking one for you. You familiar with JD Era? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Bro can do a mean Seinfeld of all fucking people in the world.
That was crazy.
Yes.
That's funny. Okay, I need to see this.
It's on our show. It's on last week's show. We can send it to you.
Okay, I need to hear this. I'm
gonna like sit here. This is what a loser I am. I'm gonna sit here, honestly, for like the next 3 days and come up with a list of like, I need Chase to do these 4 people that we all know.
All right, just tell me who they are, and I'll like send you back like a voice recording.
I'm not even fucking with you, dude. That's gonna happen.
I got you.
Did you say you could do Diz too?
No, not really.
Oh, I thought I heard that. I thought I heard
yeah.
Lush.
No, I said Leica. I said, Leica, Lush, or did, but I don't know if I could do this like that.
Well, let's hear it.
No.
You know what you could
if
do?
I'm not hella confident in it, if I haven't already done it, then I have to listen to it. You know what I mean?
You could definitely do an avocado because you're halfway there in your normal cadence to begin.
I mean, all I gotta do is go 3, 2, 1. Or fuck yeah, dude. You know what I mean?
We should have started with this. All right.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go make myself a list. So y'all just keep talking. No, honestly, though, my last random. If you weren't, and obviously you are doing exactly what you want to be doing, right?
Yeah.
If you were doing anything that was not in this industry, in any capacity, not producing, directing, engineering, mixing, beats, rapping, voiceovers, none of it, what would Chase be doing?
Well, so acting doesn't count because I would totally be an actor if I wasn't doing music. So not entertainment, not entertainment.
I mean, I'll take acting, but I feel like we're under the same umbrella with that.
Okay, I'll give you 2 answers then, because the real answer is acting though, because like I used to fucking do it when I was younger. Like I was in like a lot of plays. I was in like a couple commercials, like a couple like very small speaking roles on a couple shows and shit. Like nothing crazy, but it's what I loved first before music. Like, and I fucked with it a little bit in high school too. But I completely think either an actor or screenwriter. Like I would be in that world if I didn't do music. You know what I'm saying?
Screenwriter surprises me a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, like long form
very
writing is a little
passionate.
different than like writing for music.
Yeah, I mean, I love film and good TV like that. I fucking love it just as much as I love music. So I think in some capacity I'd be in that world.
All right, best movie franchise of all time.
Franchise, the Avengers probably. If we're talking like a franchise, because like I'd say the MCU. Marvel.
All right.
Because it's like what are the competitors? We're like, okay, like there's like Harry Potter. I didn't really fuck with Harry Potter. I like it, respect it. There's like I don't have as much invested in Star Wars. I wouldn't look at something like like the Godfather movies as a franchise, even though technically it is, but it's like that's a little bit more serious. Well, then the Godfather then. Like except number 3 is terrible.
3 was fucking trash.
I feel like once you get past like 2 movies, I mean, like Rocky's a franchise, Fast and the Furious is a franchise, Bad Boys is a franchise, Man in Black's you know what I mean?
Matrix is a franchise too.
Yeah,
right?
Matrix, absolutely. But I think I would just pick the MCU because there's 20 fucking 2 movies. They're cheating a little bit, but it's like even if you don't fuck with it, it's like there's at least 3 or 4 that are really fucking good. Like which is like more than some franchises. So my personal opinion, I'll just because of how many points they got, I'm gonna go with Marvel.
Okay, so don't hang up on me.
So you don't like them?
No, I don't watch any. I just said this. I'm really bad at movies. So
yeah.
But I might agree with you, which is contingent upon the answer to one question. Is one of those 10,000 movies that they make a movie that has Baby Groot.
Like, is Groot in it, you're saying?
There is a Baby Groot in one of them.
Yes.
Is that one of them? Okay, then they're good.
Yes.
I'm with you on that. Good answer.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 has fucking Baby Groot.
All right. Well, he looks like a Sour Patch Kid, and I love him.
And then in Avengers, it's like teenage, or in Infinity War, it's almost like teenage Groot.
Does he talk?
Very selectively.
Is he Vin Diesel as a teenager?
Yeah, he does the voice of it. Yeah, doesn't sound like
That's
him really.
awkward.
They alter it, but
I feel
he only
like
says like 3 things.
I feel like I need to see. Oh my god, this is such a terrible story. I forget what it's even called. What's the Oh my god, I'm even bad at actors. Ryan
Gosling?
No, is his name? Fuck. Hold up.
Who is he? Reynolds?
Yes,
Ryan Reynolds?
yes, that guy. What's the one he's been doing that everybody loves?
Deadpool.
Yes, is that in that family?
Yes, now it is.
Is that good? Or I've
fuck
heard
yeah,
good and
Deadpool's
horrible.
definitely no. What? Deadpool is definitely good.
Dude, like,
If anything, it's very entertaining. Regardless if it's like it's not the best movie ever, but it's definitely watchable. It's amazing.
That's like the one movie in that entire. I wouldn't call it franchise. I think that is a bit of a reach, like you said, because it's not all completely interconnected.
There's different studios and different rights and shit that happened in the past. Now it's all under one umbrella now, but it wasn't like that always.
Well, that was like the number one that I feel like I probably would like, having no knowledge or interest of any of the Marvel universe whatsoever. But then I kept hearing it was trash.
Whoever told you Deadpool was trash is just wrong. Like I know everything is subjective and it's opinions and shit. Like what you think is amazing necessarily doesn't mean everyone does. But there's no way Deadpool is trash. Like trash is like it's not bad. It might like I could understand someone being like, oh, it was good, it was cool, but nah, definitely not trash. No way. That person is tripping.
All right, I'll tell you what. You give in exchange for sending me these clips that you're going to send me, or I'll harass you until you block me. What one movie do I need to see? What is like your number one movie? I'll watch
I
haven't seen it, whatever it is. I promise you.
Have you ever seen Goodfellas?
I have not seen Goodfellas.
Watch Goodfellas.
You've never seen Goodfellas, Amy?
Wait, you know what?
Shit.
Wait, I think I even have a more. Wait,
yeah,
I gotta Google it.
Amy's fired.
No,
have you ever seen Pulp? Have you ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Oh, here's the sad thing: I haven't.
Great movies.
I have seen Pulp Fiction, and I remember about 10 seconds.
I think I've seen all.
What about The Departed? You ever seen The Departed?
Are you kidding me? Leo's one of my husbands. Stop.
Wow. All right, then. Hold on one second, you guys. My bad. Huh?
Oh, good.
No, it's not. It's Zeus. All right, Doc. Sorry. Yeah, definitely. But I would say watch Goodfellas.
You know what's crazy? I just Googled it and I'm looking at. I was the weirdest little preteen, all right? So I'm looking at this now. I had the Goodfellas movie poster in my bedroom, and I believe I own the movie somewhere, maybe in storage.
I mean, it's very iconic.
I've never seen it.
Wow.
Huh?
Get this.
Yeah,
Amy.
I'll hit you a little bit later.
Amy.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Amy is an American from the day she was born. Lived in America since the day she's fucking born. Okay, and she was born in the fucking 80s. She has never seen a Rocky movie.
Oh, come on.
No shit. I think she's Taliban personally, but I haven't proved it yet. What kind of shit is that?
And even more embarrassing, I have a dog named Rocky.
Oh, wow.
No, we're a fucked up bunch though, man. I'm Canadian, lived here my entire life. I hate hockey. It's a whole fucking mess.
I'm like the opposite though. I've seen everything. Like I've watched so much shit, like I'm not like bougie about it, but I would say I'm a connoisseur of film and TV.
Say you're not bougie about it, Chase.
Oh yeah, and I probably am. Okay, I got you.
I mean, like, look, you are. It doesn't matter what you are because at least you have some level of knowledge. Like my literal cap on movie knowledge goes like this: The Rock, Denzel, Leo, Fast and Furious.
It's like when people. Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead, my bad.
That's it. That was an 8 Mile about 1 million times.
No, it's like when people say no offense when really it's like, nah, dude, you kind of are like trying to be offensive.
You shit. I'm not racist, but
yeah, I'm not racist, but or like no disrespect, but
no
shit.
What I mean?
I'm just trying to be cool about it. No, I mean, I feel that way about any word. It doesn't even have to be something that serious. If you start with I'm not, and then you can fill in the blank. But then you are. If you have to make that qualification, then you're lying.
So we know what Lush again. I don't know why the fuck this keeps happening. I don't know why Lush is on my mind so much today. Fucking before we let Chase get out of here. We know you are a producer. We know you make hip hop music. We know you rap. We know you battled. What is something that motherfuckers don't know about you? Like, are you a master chef? I don't know. Do you like to ride the bus instead of driving a car? Do you prefer butter to margarine? What is some shit? Like, what is a hobby or something that you're into that people have no idea about?
I used to be a pretty good rollerblader. Like, I would hit handrails and fucking and all that shit. Yeah.
He was kicking it down in Venice in the late 90s.
Yeah, I used to do aggressive inline, and I was pretty nice. I was nice with it.
Chase.
Yeah.
Stop. I bet you were in retarded shape.
I was. I'm not now, but I was.
I mean, you have to be. For that.
Yeah. But I was, I could hit big handrails and big, hit 720s and all types of shit. Like, I used to be a pretty good rollerblader.
What?
Yeah.
You know who wanted to be a pro skater but sucked?
What's that? Saint.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I can see that.
The wanting to do it or the sucking part?
I
don't know if that was a shot or like just agreeing.
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I mean, I would probably say that, used to skate.
Fucking rollerblading, eh?
Yeah, dude.
What about roller skating?
And rollerblading does not get fucking the credit it deserves either, because that shit, it's like, dude, the thing about rollerblading is like the level of like how big the hammers are and the biggest tricks. It's like motherfuckers are jumping off buildings and shit.
What's a hammer? God, why do I have to learn a new
like a big trick, like a huge big trick. Like you could do something on like a little ledge or a little couple stairs, which is cool, but a hammer is like something big. Like that full fucking did a 720 off like a 17 stair, or someone did like a 50 stair hammer. That's what I mean by a hammer, like a big trick, like a haymaker.
Oh, okay. Now you're speaking.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That like that that's what I mean by that.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like I'm glad that you didn't get a concussion, because you would not be able to do what you can do now.
Yeah, I mean, I've got, I've got scars from it, and I've got like I broke my ankle hella times, and like I didn't really get it fixed properly, so there's like so much tissue missing on my right ankle compared to like my left, like shit like that, like just because that shit takes a lot of damage on your body. And I skated up until I was like, probably like 19 or 20, but like starting when I was like 11, though, like heavily skated for years.
So it was in the States you started?
Yeah. Because I mean, I was like I started fourth grade when I moved here. So like fourth grade and on, I was in the States. And then, I started skating probably like sixth grade.
Damn. Were you mad at those old PlayStation 1 games that had Tony Hawk and fucking Cool Boarders and shit? No rollerblading games?
No, they had one that was called Aggressive Inline. That was like,
and nobody bought it,
like
you.
Yeah. It was like kind of cool, but it kind of sucked. And then there was supposed to be this big game called fucking Rolling. It was like this huge, big advertised game, and it like never came out like on consoles and only came out on PC. It just flopped, you know what I'm saying? Like all hopes were destroyed of rollerblading competing with Tony Hawk and shit. Like, and the X Games also took rollerblading out because the ratings were so low, and I think that had a lot to do with the mainstream perception of rollerblading.
Really?
It just didn't get the didn't get the love it deserved.
There.
See, exactly. Like it was.
What? Can you ice skate?
Where, Jason?
That's what I'm wondering. I probably could. I mean, I have before. I like that translate. The movement translates.
No, it doesn't. Not at
all.
No,
it absolutely does. Wait, I roller skated.
At least how your legs are. Not like the physics of it, but like the leg movements. Very similar.
No, it's not. Say yes. What is not similar is that when you go out onto a frozen lake with little knives on your feet, there is almost no resistance.
Yeah.
It'd be like never touching a skateboard on your life and stepping onto it like it's a stair and being surprised that it just moves so easily. Rollerblades take some work.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that.
I know
Ice skating is scary.
If you can ice skate, you should be able to rollerblade.
Fuck no.
I don't know if it works the other way around.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about that. If you're really good at ice skating, you'd probably just be able to throw on a pair of blades. Yeah, it might not work the other way.
I played hockey. I played hockey for years before I realized it sucked, and I rollerbladed for years in the summer because that's what you do. The fucking two are not similar at all to me.
Okay.
I could rollerblade.
What I'm saying is ice skating is harder.
I mean, I wasn't doing tricks. I wasn't fucking even trying to jump up on fucking stair railings or
throwing
anything.
up a triple Lutz over here.
No. Rollerblading around with a hockey stick.
Dude, one of my like close friends growing up played ice hockey, so we used to like get all smacked and go to his games. And then I fucking love watching hockey in person. I don't really follow it like that, but going to a hockey game is fun as fuck.
Oh, that was my other random. Are you? I agree with that also. Fun as fucking person, but are you like a big sports guy in general? Or
not like a big sports guy, but I like basketball though. Like I fuck with basketball.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I don't really well, it's not that I don't like, but I don't really follow football. I don't follow baseball, but I follow basketball.
I'm always surprised when somebody, only because for some reason there seems to be so much overlap with battle rap, hip hop, and even most music people we talk to in general with MMA. Like people love seeing the combat sports, MMA, boxing. So I'm always surprised when somebody like you doesn't say they like it.
I like MMA. I fuck with it. I actually used to fuck with one of Uriah Faber's like artists, because this fool had a gym. And like I met Uriah before and showed him. He's hella cool, one of the nicest guys. And he had like a artist that he was trying to like, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to do the label thing. And like I sold some beats to one of his artists and shit and chill with that fool a few times.
Who's the artist? Amy and I covered combat sports for like almost a decade. We both know Uriah and all the like a lot of dudes around him.
Dude, Uriah is super cool, dude.
Fuck
like there was like he had a gym in Midtown. I don't know if it's still there or not, but he had a gym in Midtown Sac, and my homie had a tattoo shop directly next door, and that's how I even linked with him. But like I chill with that fool multiple times. He's hella cool, dude. That fool was super nice guy. But honestly, I don't remember the artist's name. That was T something. It was like T Money or T Hustle or it was T something.
Of course it was. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's a T Murder or something. I don't fucking know.
Little something.
Yeah, Lil
Young.
Lil Young. Yeah, I don't remember, dude. I don't think the guy ever like popped off or anything like that.
I have the worst picture ever beside fucking Uriah. It was at the 2010-2011 MMA Awards, and he was taking a picture, and like the last second, someone said to me, "Hey, yo, you want to get in here?" And my fucking tooth was killing me. And I don't know if anyone listening has ever had a fucking like a broken fucking tooth and a pain. Your tongue can't stop going towards it. My tongue is all drove up in my face. I'm looking the other way, all unimpressed. I'll text it to you, Chase, after this shit, so you can take a look. It is the fucking most embarrassing thing ever. I've showed it to Uriah before too, and he fucking gets a kick out of it. But to me, I'm like,
that is hilarious.
Good job.
Are you a wait? I'm sorry. I know you're gonna rap. Here's your last random. Are you a Rogan fan? Of the variety?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I think that like for what he did with podcasts and shit, like revolutionary. I listen to Rogan. I'm not like a diehard, but my whole thing about when people have a problem with Rogan, I'm like, it's like people treat shit like it's news or like journalism, when really it's like, I think that fucking he has a good variety of guests. And, you know, I don't agree with everything, but I do fuck with Rogan. Like, I think that when he has a good guest on there, it's a great podcast. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at what he did for the industry, and, you know, I love podcasts, and I don't think that they would be as popping as, it wouldn't be as big without JRE. Like, it just wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? So I respect it like that. Like, I'm not like a diehard, but I mean, shit, I fucking I seen this fool at the Comedy Store, and he was fucking hilarious. You know what I'm saying? I used to think his stand up sucked. You know what I'm saying? But
no, but it
You
does.
know,
I've seen him a few
did.
times live.
Hey, look! I seen him in person, and it was fucking funny. Like,
no,
it was
me too.
good.
A few times. When I used to cover MMA, I was at all the events, and he would always do shows right before events, and I would end up with tickets, and I was always excited. And I got to be honest, it is real hit or miss. Sometimes he is amazing.
He's
live.
got a lot better though.
Yeah.
He has got a lot.
Yeah, his
better.
last two specials were pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
I liked his last two
Yeah,
specials. I thought they
agree.
were funny, you know?
Yeah, and I'm
But
a big
also, too,
stand-up
though-
comedy fan. So,
Yo,
like,
me too, dude. Me too.
Yeah.
Fucking, I fuck with the whole like newer movement of stand-ups and especially podcasts. Like, I'm fucking with Bobby Lee, Santino, Andrew Schultz, the History Hyenas, like all that. Tim Dillon, like all that wave. I love all of that shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say though is fucking. I have noticed this though about Joe Rogan. When Joe Rogan has a comedian on, he always does this shit where he takes everything hella literally. Like, there's so many jokes that he misses where I'm like, and he'll, you know, if someone says like a crazy joke with a crazy premise, he'll be like, I don't think that's actually physically possible. But where it's like, dude, that was that was a joke, dog. Like, have you ever known? I don't know if I'm tripping or not, but like, I've noticed that though. Like, a lot of times with just comedians, that fool will take shit very literally when it's like, you're supposed to be a stand-up fool. How do you not realize these? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying there. I don't. The
You
ones
think he's
I
hating
like.
low-key?
What's
You
that?
think he's low-key hating?
Low-key hating.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Like, I think it might be something to do with like, you know, it's like when
You on my show, don't make jokes.
yeah. I'm the only one that tells the jokes around here, like some shit like that. But like, yeah, you know, like I see these people, like, because Rogan gets associated a lot with like, I don't know, the right and shit, but it's like this fool is actually pretty liberal with most of his views, honestly. And like, I do like the variety of guests he has. So I would say overall, I do fuck with Rogan. I'm not a fanboy, but I fuck with Rogan.
I'll say this. I think, probably uninformedly so, that he's probably more libertarian than anything. But also,
Right.
I think that like over the years, I know he has gotten better, and you know, I understand that takes a lot of work, a lot of time, but it's always been burned in my mind that I cannot handle the like 2 to 4 hour marathon Eddie Bravo conspiracy theory. Like, I just can't listen to that for that long.
I do.
Sure.
Otherwise, I think he's like turning into a new age Howard Stern, where people will say shit to him they won't say to anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the biggest like interview, like conversation platform like in the world. Like, that fool's getting more views than fucking The Tonight Show used to get, or like any late night or any talk show. Like, it's the biggest.
He did end up getting Kanye, right? Was it like Crazy Pants?
Yeah, I listened to that interview on a road trip, like when I had a long time. So I listened to the whole thing. Fuck, man, Kanye. I mean, it was so terrible. It was such a weird interview.
Horrible.
It was so weird.
Yeah, and that was one of the only or one of the very few times I've ever seen Rogan fucking pander. Like, he was very cautious in his approach to Kanye. He didn't try to make it fun.
I mean, he didn't even really say anything. He kind of just let him ramble for 3 hours.
Yeah,
really
that's
what
I found, and I didn't like that.
I mean, he does that a little bit, you know. But you know, when you're talking to that many different people and you're trying to have a variety of guests, sometimes I guess you got to just let him talk. But yeah, Kanye was rambling on that thing. Like,
Isn't it fair though to say also that if you have Kanye on and you don't let him ramble, that there's a pretty high probability he might just walk the fuck off?
yeah, probably. I want the old Kanye. What's up with the old Kanye? That's what I fuck with.
That's been an argument. People thought that an argument, or ongoing conversation, I should say, Kanye was a great producer. Then he focused too much on rapping, and his beats got weird. As a producer, what is your opinion on his old style versus his new style? Like, do you have a preference? Do you believe the hype? Like, what are your thoughts on Kanye old versus new? Basically, normal versus nuts.
Sure. I mean, I think like the first like 4 Kanye albums are fucking masterpieces. They're amazing. They're such good albums. I mean, I think the production changed because it was more so like damn near just him and on like an MPC. Like a lot of those beats are kind of just like a flip sample with drums and maybe a little bass. And then you listen to the newer shit, and then, you know, he's able to have all the resources to have fools like Mike Dean and bring in all these different fucking producers and different vocalists to do backgrounds. And he's able to create like orchestra-like music. So I think from a production standpoint, it's amazing. And, you know, he's kind of doing the Quincy thing where he's bringing, you know, if you look at the credits, it'll be like 10 different names on it. And it's like, I've heard them talk about it. It's like one person does an idea, the beat might switch up, and that person, one person might do the bass, Kanye might do the drums. Like, I just think if anything, the sound changed because of how collaborative it is. Mm-hmm. Now, musically, I think it's lost a bit of its punch. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't have the replay value and the excitement that it once did. But I'll never discredit Kanye for what he's done, because a lot of those albums are fucking fire. I don't really like the last 3, but like the first 4 are like fucking really good. And I definitely think he's one of the best cats doing it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't really like as much of the newer music. I just find I don't come back to it as much, you know?
Yeah. I agree with that for sure. So before we let you get out of here, let's talk some favorite producers, or
sure,
one word, couple words, few words, whatever. When I say some producers, and I don't have any sort of list in front of me, I'm just going to try to rifle them off the top of my head. DJ Premier.
Sure. One of the greatest of all time in my personal top 5. I think he's the best sample-based producer. A fucking legend.
Dr. Dre.
Another legend. He's probably the best, if not one of the best of all time as well. Dr. Dre was one of the first people to bring that Quincy style shit to rap, where it was, you know, multiple people coming in playing keys, bass, strings, blah, blah, blah. Mixing wise, probably the best mixes in rap sonically.
Okay. Timbaland.
My personal favorite of all time. I think Timbaland is the most diverse. I think he's the most diverse. And I think that no other producer, maybe besides Pharrell, was able to do something where you'd have like chart-topping rap music and chart-topping pop music at the same time. Like, he was doing Jay-Z at the same time as doing like Justin Timberlake. And I think Pharrell's probably the only other producer who was able to do that. Like, not even Dre did that, like, because Dre he had rap artists that were huge as pop stars, but like I just think that Timbaland has the most original and diverse style. And me personally, I think that he should be credited for like a lot more things, like the bounce of modern drums as well as breakdowns and beats. It's not like he invented the breakdown. Bands were doing that forever, but in modern rap and R&B production, fools were not doing breakdowns like that, like where the whole beat switches up and all of that. So I personally love Timbaland, bro. Timbo is the fucking goat, bro.
What about someone like Swiss? Apparently he makes every sample, every sound in his beats, right?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I mean, Swiss is definitely a legend. I really think Swiss, for like the Rough Rider style and sound, it'll always go down in history. I don't know if I have him ranked as high as other producers, but Swiss Beats was definitely like very original, had his own style, and that man had a lot of records, a lot of big records. You got to give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying?
What about somebody? I know you're probably gonna love this one. What about Havoc?
Oh, I mean, Havoc is one of those producers that's just very underrated. A lot of people he gets left out of conversation when he's made some of the most classic beats of all time. Like fucking Shook Ones is like one of the most classic battle rap beats ever. Like that, or just beats, not even battle rap, just beats. But I think that Havoc is a very talented producer and doesn't get enough credit because he's also like, he'll sneak in little beats here and there, like around like there's some like 50 shit that was crazy that Havoc did, and like, yeah, bro, he don't get enough credit. I don't think as a producer.
What about this? Let this sink in. Who do you think is a better rapper, Havoc or Prodigy? Because Jason, under impression, Havoc is a better rapper.
I like Havoc better.
What do you think?
I mean, Prodigy, but
I know. I don't win this argument against anyone.
But respect to Havoc, though. Yeah, I mean, dude, Prodigy, that fucking my favorite. See, I love Mardi, but my favorite shit was the Alchemist and Prodigy shit, like fucking that Return of the Mac shit. The part 2 or the one that's stuck like glue. Oh my god, dude! Like that's my personal favorite shit was Alchemist and Prodigy.
What about Slug from Atmosphere?
Oh, I mean, dude, I've done a record for Slug. I produced a song.
Slug, Ant. Ant from Atmosphere. Ant's
an incredible producer, man. I mean, fucking that fool don't get enough credit either. And also, I don't think a lot of people realize. If you know the group, you know that it's like Slugging It, but a lot of people don't realize he makes all those fucking beats. You know what I'm saying? Like that fool is really, really dope. And he was also like, at the time of Atmosphere coming out, like that's when sampling, production was super evolving at that time. And like, you know, that's when the drums started to get really crisp and people were able to really flip samples. And I think that he was on that wave early on. And I wouldn't say like a pioneer of it, but he definitely like, he brought that sound to like a different part of the underground. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that shit was coming from New York. A lot of that style of beats was New York, and like that for that fool to do that in Minneapolis, and as big as Atmosphere got, like, dude, that's fucking crazy. You know, Ant sounds like he's from New York. His beats sound like he's the East Coast.
Yeah. It sounds like the essence of hip hop.
Yeah. Ant's super dope, dude. Super underrated too. He definitely doesn't get enough. He's not in conversations enough for being a great producer.
Now, sorry, I said Slug at first by mistake, and you were about to say something about you work with Slug?
Yeah, I work with Slug, dude. Slug has shown me hella love before too, bro. Fucking, there's a song on Non-Perishables, like 2 or 3, that's got like Mr. Fab and Slug on it that I did the beat for. So like that was already dope to me because I was a huge Atmosphere fan when they first came out. Like that first album, Overcast. Like, dude, I really fucked with that. So getting to work with him was crazy. We didn't get to do it in person and shit, but like he sent me the files and I mixed it and shit. So that was cool. But then like a few years after that, I don't remember exactly when, but I remember one day I looked on my Twitter and there was a tweet from the Atmosphere account that just added me and he said, I'm a fan. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't even know what he was referencing. I don't know what he had heard or anything. And we've chopped it up a few times since then, but like, Slug's just one of those people that went out of his way to show me love before. And I'm like, that's fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to fucking, you know, I still fuck with that shit, but it was just different when I was younger. I used to listen to Atmosphere a lot when I was younger.
Yeah. They were, not even that they were a lot better. They were just pumping out a lot more shit. Fucking, they were building the whole Real Rhyme Savers shit at that time. I got one more name before we let you get out of here. Jay Dilla.
Oh, I mean, you know, undeniable fucking the swing
exactly
and the bounce, like, you know. Well, I mean,
what's to be said?
All there, yeah. You know, like obviously one of the fallen greats, but you know, he had such an influence and impact on the game. My favorite thing about Dilla is like the little shit that people don't know, like how like fucking that fucking Do for Love Tupac was really his record. Now I don't remember if it was like he ghost produced it or if someone took it or something, but it's something like that. But like that, you know, and the bass line on that, the dum 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 dum. It's like, dude, that's just when you know it, you're like, oh yeah, that's fucking Dilla. You know what I'm saying? I like little shit like that when you find out, oh shit, this fool did that. Like I love shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Little unique facts.
Yeah, but yeah, Dilla. Yeah, dude, Dilla was fucking amazing, bro. Like so good at the chops and the way shit that he would do with filtering and pitching other samples to fit with shit. Like he was like, all right, my personal favorite sample-based producer is DJ Premier, but on a technicality level, like Dilla was probably the most skilled at flipping shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like chopping it up crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think Primo just got the best selection of samples and he's got that style. But Dilla would do shit that was so unorthodox, but it would fit though. You know what I'm saying?
And who is your favorite producer? Like someone who just blows your fucking mind.
I mean, it's probably Timbo, you know what I'm saying? Or like if we're talking of all time, like Timbo, Quincy, but like New shit like fucking, you know who's always fucking hella good, bro? Is DJ Dahi, dude. You know who DJ Dahi is?
No, not off the top of my head.
He did like, do you know that song by Kendrick, Money Trees?
No, see, it's a fucked up thing too. I'm not a big Kendrick fan. I never talk shit on him because it's one of those things. It's like this, okay? I'm not a LeBron James fan. I've never said he sucks at basketball. It's one of those things, you know.
Sure.
Kendrick can rap his ass off. It's just, it's not for my ears. So,
yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
I get that. But like DJ Dahi is one of those producers where I'll be like, oh shit, he did that record, and then or like he just has some beats where I'm like, God damn, like that fool either flip that crazy or something. But like I would say that fool, dude, that fool is low key like every beat I heard from him is pretty fucking amazing. And then also someone like Knots or Jake One, like I get pretty amazed by those guys and shit.
Jake One, that's one I forgot. Yo, he's dope.
Dude, he's so good. And the thing about Jake One too is like that fool is like been doing big ass records. Like that fool has big ass records for The Weeknd. He has big ass records for Jay-Z.
Really?
Big, yeah, dude. That Starboy, fucking that fool, fucking. It's either the song Starboy or one of the other big singles on that album was Jake One. And then like Jay-Z and Future, that song I Got the Keys or Keys to My City or whatever. Or no, I Got the Keys, I think. Like a lot of records like that. I'm like, he's still so. And then I know he has a big record from Future's last album. I'm like, to me, that's the dopest shit. When a producer like that, who is an OG and comes from like that sample-based style that I love and grew up on, and now is able to transfer to the new era and like, you know, have records with some of the biggest people in the game. Like that's inspiring to me.
Dope. So, Chase, before they get out of here, is there anything else you want to plug?
Just Water Buffaloes, man. Go to chillfamo.com. You know, we're starting this. Me and Fredo are starting this shit from the ground up. So, like, go subscribe to the channel. Look us up online. Like, go just type in either Water Buffaloes, type in Chase Moore and Fredo Algebra, and then you know what I'm saying. Like, and then just you know just stay in tune with all the shit I'm dropping. It's Chase Moore Music on all social media platforms. And that's really it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you fuck with it, you'll be able to find it. Just, you know, you might like, but that's what I'm right now. It's all about Water Buffaloes, bro. That's what I'm pushing.
What's one thing we need to ask Fredo about when we talk to him?
Ask him to explain the slang. Like this fool will call people McNulty. Like, what's up, McNulty? Or Walt? What's up, Walt? Ask him to explain the origin of that.
McNulty like, from The Wire?
Well, yeah, it sort of comes. Let him explain it. But ask him why he calls people Walt or McNulty. That'll be a good one. He'll be like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?"
Got it. Thanks.
All right. Let's hope Fredo doesn't listen this far in the episode. Be a surprise for him.
Yeah, for real.
All right, Chase, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it. For Chase Moore, make sure you check him out on social media, Chase Moore Music. Amy Barton, Kirill Kasatskiy, I'm Jay Kelly. This is Building Downtown. We out. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown.